In Lesson 5.7, Lattice Multiplication, we're going to review and provide practice with the lattice method for multiplication. You were first introduced to this method in 3rd grade, but I want to tell you a little bit about the history of it. Back in early European math, it was mostly based upon adding and subtracting of Roman numerals. And they were easy enough to add for at least small quantities, but once you got to multiplying and dividing, that became very difficult. So once Europeans began undertaking more and more complex calculations, they needed a different method. So around the year 1202, Fibonacci introduced lattice multiplication. This method is actually named after an iron grill that was actually placed on windows, also known as lattice multiplication. In this picture, you'll see about the year 1300 is a calculation of some rather large numbers being multiplied. Let's imagine we wanted to use lattice multiplication to find the product of 14 and 56. Now, be aware this is not the most efficient way to multiply, especially when you get into larger numbers. And your middle school teachers are not going to want to watch you draw out a huge lattice multiplication chart. But if we look at the history of it, this is how it goes. Take 14 across the top, 56 down the side, and then it becomes your basic multiplication facts. 4 times 5 is 20, one numeral per triangle. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 1 is 5. Make sure you put a 0 in there to represent nothing in the tens place. 1 times 6 is 6. Then the last step is to take the diagonals and add up everything within that diagonal. So here we just have a 4. If we go across this diagonal, we have 0 plus 2 plus 6 is 8. And in the last diagonal, we have 2 plus 5 is 7. So our product is 784. Now we can also do this for larger numbers as well. So I'm going to take a number. Let me go ahead and take 743, sorry about that, times 21. So we go ahead and take 3 times 2, which would be 6, 3 times 1, which would be 3, 4 times 2, which would be 8, 4 times 1, which would be 4, 7 times 2, which is 14, 7 times 1, which is 7. I'll use a different color to show you that we need to add up all of the diagonals. Sorry, I keep getting to the top there. 3 plus nothing is 3, 6 plus 0 plus 4 is 10. Carry your 1 up here. 1 plus 0 plus 8 is 9, plus 0 plus 7 is 16. Put down your 6, carry your 1 to the next diagonal. 4 plus 1 is 5, and you do have one number still up here. So your answer is 15,603. Now imagine I wanted to draw my own. Let's say I was multiplying two numbers, two two-digit numbers. Let's say I was taking 45 times 38. The first thing to do is to go ahead and draw your lattice. Each square has a diagonal that runs from the top down to the bottom. Now I would go ahead and multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 8 is 40. 4 times 8 is 32. The next thing I'm going to take are my diagonals and add those all up. Nothing in this diagonal. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And bring down my 1. So the answer to 45 times 38 is 1,710. I would like you to try one on your whiteboard, so go ahead and get your whiteboard ready. First thing you're going to do, let's do a 2-digit number times a 2-digit number. So you're going to draw a large box. Let's take the number 57 times 42. Once you have that number written across the top and along the side, you're going to go ahead and finish drawing the lattice multiplication boxes. Each square has a diagonal that runs down. Go ahead and stop the video until you are done drawing this. The next thing that you are going to do is to go ahead with your basic multiplication facts. So let's take 4 times 7. Go ahead and multiply that and do that for each of the following. So go ahead and stop the video. When you're ready to check your answer, go ahead and start the video again. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 2 is 14. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10. You need to draw your diagonals. 4, 8 plus 1 is 9, 2 plus 1 is 3, and bring down your 2. So the answer to 57 times 42 is 2,394. It'll be easier when the lattice boxes are drawn for you. You're going to do some practicing of this on journal page 124. If you want to watch another video with some more examples, click on the link below this one, Khan Academy.